What's up, y'all? It's your girl, the Binge and B. What you watching on TV? Today's video, we are jumping into episode 3, season 1, episode 3 of my shit. I'm a major fan of the Creep Tapes. So this is season 1, the 3rd episode, and today's victim is gonna be Jeremy. The episode opens up with Jeremy introducing his video. The way he introduces himself, he comes off like I guess he's like a YouTuber that spends his time exposing like big systems or something. I came to that conclusion because basically he mentioned something about Big Pharma. So that leads me to believe that with his YouTube channel, he does little exposés or something to like go behind the scenes or some shit. Now the goal tonight is to expose the Catholic Church. Or I don't know if it's a Catholic church or if it's this particular priest. I believe it's this particular priest. He decides to meet with Father Tom Durkin. He shows up, he does the intro to his video, and then he approaches the house. It's super dark. There are trolls that are on the stairs as he's going up to the house, but it's really dark. And so as he approaches the top of the steps, Father Tom is standing at the top of the stairs, and he gives him this ominous greeting about something about the evil hiding in the dark or not wanting to be in the light or some shit. This is where the intro plays, and then now we are in the dining room area. This gives the impression that Jeremy has come into the house. He's in the dining room and he's setting up his camera and preparing for what seems to be an interview that he's planning on having with Father Tom. Once he's done setting up everything in the dining room, basically he's ready to go. And of course, Father Tom is nowhere to be found. Now, mind you, I should have already said this, but Father Tom is our boy Wolfie, right? So since everything is set up properly now, he announces to Father Tom that he's ready to start the interview. Of course, Father Tom is nowhere to be found. So now he gets up to physically go throughout the house to look for Father Tom, Wolfie. So he goes throughout the house. He kind of wanders into a couple of different rooms. He doesn't find anything. He keeps walking. Then he comes up to a sound in the distance that he hears, and it's almost like a sexual sound that he's hearing. Jeremy looks at the camera and says that he assumes that Father Tom is probably pleasuring himself. So he approaches the door where the sound is coming from. He opens the door to Father Tom, I guess thinking he's gonna find one thing, but Father Tom is actually exercising on an elliptical machine. I think that's what you call it, the step up and down thing. Father Tom is embarrassed. He offers an apology and an explanation, but then he does ask Jeremy to give him a few minutes so that he can finish. I guess this is his way of loosening up before he does something stressful. Now, because he asked Jeremy to give him some time to finish, I guess Jeremy goes back upstairs to the dining area and he waits. So the next scene opens up with Father Tom at the sink in the kitchen, and he's offering Jeremy a drink. I think Jeremy doesn't want to let his guard down, so he actually just requests water. And Father Tom is kind of taken back by it. He's like, oh, water? That's all you want to drink? So he actually offers him wine and water. So Father Tom actually brings wine and water to the table. He sits both of them down and they kind of begin to talk. Basically, Jeremy's ready to start the interview, but Father Tom is strategically trying to delay this interview by any means necessary. The first major distraction is loud music starts blaring. So as he gets up to turn the music off, he goes into a whole monologue about how excited he is to sit down with Jeremy and to be able to interview and debate whether God is real or not. And he also mentions an incident that happened with a particular guy, Andre. Also, in this speech, he references a movie called God's Not Dead, starring Kevin Sorbo. And I'm mentioning that here because I feel like that's a reoccurring theme also throughout the series. I know the first episode, we talked about misery. We actually acted that whole scene out. In the second episode, which I don't think I mentioned in my review, I believe he referenced High Velocity with Charlie Sheen. Cut to this episode, in episode 3, he mentions God's Not Dead with Kevin Sorbo. I'm going to make a concerted effort to look into those movies. I might fuck around and watch all of the movies that I hear referenced in these to see if there's some kind of, because I feel like these are Easter eggs that are, they're going to weave together some more information. And I could be grasping at straws. I don't care, but this shit is fun anyway, so I'm going to do it. At this point, remember they're in the dining room. So in an effort to make the conversation a little more intimate, Father Tom suggests that they move from the table over to a couch that he has nearby. Now, he takes this opportunity to challenge Jeremy's fear. At the very least, a level of discomfort is showing. He questions whether or not Jeremy automatically trusts him because he appears as a man of the cloth, or does he automatically fear him because of the level of authority that you typically associate with a person that's a priest or in a high position in the church. It's this point where Father Tom, or Wolfie, makes a loud noise. He scares the shit out of Jeremy. This is where Jeremy gets pissed off. He's a little less docile than some of the other victims. In Jeremy's monologue, he kind of reveals the fact that he's doing this interview because he resents men of the cloth who have spent thousands of years over time tormenting people. So his point is to expose or reveal how that's done through men in the church. While he's delivering his speech, Jeremy then gives a kind of a you're on candid camera moment, right? He does this grand reveal where he exposes that you're actually on my show, gotcha. So Father Tom appears to be embarrassed, so he disappears around the corner. Jeremy looks for him for a second. He goes, a couple, it's the same old hide and seek type shit. And then finally, Father Tom reveals himself, comes back in, and now he goes into a speech about how he's grateful. He's grateful to have the opportunity to express on a grand scale for a wide audience that, priests aren't just stuffy, boring, uneventful characters. They sinners too. It's right here where Jeremy can see through the bullshit and he's not dealing with a real priest. It's at this point where Wolfie, or Father Tom, reveals that he already knew that Jeremy was doing kind of a bit, right? And that he was going to be on the Gotcha show. He let him know that he already recognized him because he's a fan of the show. This is where he takes the camera from Jeremy and proposes that they actually join forces. It's at this point where Jeremy is kind of shook up, right? Because he like, this is some more shit. But you can tell he's ready to get up out of there. But being the psychological mind Jedi that Wolfie is, he convinces him that he's now ready to tell the truth and wants to show him something. He takes Jeremy to a room and pulls a laptop out from under the bed. He wants to show him something important on this laptop, which turns out to be a video of I won't say a naked man. It was a man in his underwear, but there's a video of an unclothed man wearing a wolf mask, crouched in the corner on the floor. Somebody is performing what appears to be some kind of exorcism. Now, this is also where he tells Jeremy that he is actually the man in the video wearing the wolf mask. He gives Jeremy some kind of weird backstory about how he became a priest, right? So apparently that was him in the video, and the person that was performing the exorcism was a particular priest, had a name that was phonetically similar to his, and so that's why he chose the name Tom Durkin. That priest ended up dead, to his surprise. Apparently he didn't know what happened to the priest. He just came to, the priest was dead, and this is how he vowed to become a priest from that point on. And then he kind of shifts his energy and he accuses Jeremy of not believing in God. Jeremy does his best to convince him that he does in fact believe in God. Father Tom is not with the bullshit. And since Father Tom doesn't believe him, he's gonna convert him. He wants to make him a believer. This is where we cut to a scene where they're in what appears to be a really dark bathroom. There's a shot of a tub with some water running in it. And apparently this is going to be where they perform a baptism on Jeremy. So before he starts the baptism, of course, he's very wordy. So he gets into a little monologue at this point too. Then he prompts for Jeremy to go ahead and undress. As Jeremy's undressing, he takes his belt and swats it at Father Tom. He about to get the hell up out of there. This is where our chase begins. Jeremy makes it outside to his car. He gets in the car, starts it up, except the car won't turn over. Also, this is where Father Tom shows up, standing right directly in front of the car where the headlights are, and he's holding up some wires. Clearly, these wires have been removed in order to keep the car from starting up. Jeremy is scared shitless. He locks the doors, and he's just kind of looking around, just checking his surroundings. Everything gets to a stillness, and it's pretty quiet around the car. I don't know why Jeremy thought that he could, I don't know if he was just gonna like walk to the next house or what, but he decides he's gonna try to get out of the car to make his getaway. Probably I have to do it on foot. Well, as he opens the door, of course, Father Tom is there. Now he's holding an axe. He attacks Jeremy inside of the car with the axe. Jeremy manages to get out of the car to run, but of course, old Wolfie catches him. And that brings us to our third victim of the creep tapes. this episode 3 was all right. It was interesting. So here's what really stuck out to me in this episode, which I'm pretty surprised that I didn't catch this in the other episodes. The references that he's making to the other movies. I think I'm just now catching that. I am going to do what I can to, I'll probably try to make it through the season, and then I'll look and see if I can find these other movies and figure out what's the connection, or just see if I can get some kind of idea as to why he chose to reference these movies in the show. That's one thing that really stuck out to me. I'm starting to notice it now, the 3rd episode in, right? I think it's really interesting in this scene, in this particular altercation. I do appreciate that Jeremy was a little bit more resistant than some of the other victims. I don't know that it mattered a whole lot though, because the shit still ended up we still ended up with the same result. So I don't know that it served him any better than it would have served some of the other people. But everybody else is just so docile and so willing to comply. And that really just gets on my fucking nerves. I don't know what it is about that. I want these people to fight. Like, fight back. God damn, do something. So I did like that about the Jeremy episode. But I mean, it's victim number 3, so it turned out how it turned out, right? But anyway, this episode was pretty short, simple, sweet, and to the point. It's fascinating to me that Jeremy thought he was going to go in there. He thought he was the one coming with the gotcha moment. This is definitely how scripts get flipped. So that one is pretty simple, pretty short, sweet, and to the point, y'all. That's all I got to say about this shit. It's your girl on the Binge and B. Finna go find me something else to watch on TV. I'm going to talk to y'all soon. Bye.